Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
Here are today's top headlines. A sinking dollar is hurting Japanese automakers. Attendance at the Frankfurt show was way down, and BMW comes out with a really weird concept car. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Monday, September 28, 2009, and now the news. The dollar is sinking against other currencies, and that has hit Japanese automakers hard. Bloomberg reports that Toyota's, Honda's, and Mazda's stock got hammered today since they rely so heavily on profits from the American market. Toyota, Honda, and Nissan are also slashing production in Japan because exports are plummeting. You know, I think the weak dollar is going to emerge as a major story in this industry, and it will become a major barrier to those countries which export to the American market, which has been the greatest source of profits for Asian and European automakers for a long time. The AFP says that attendance at the Frankfurt Auto Show was down by 150,000 people compared to the last show. 850,000 people attended this year's show, down from 1 million in 2007. There were 30% fewer exhibitors, too. Even so, the show organizers say they expected the decline and that attendance was actually better than they expected. Hyundai will not offer a V6 engine in the 2011 Sonata. According to Ward, the car will have an upgraded version of its four-cylinder Theta engine with direct injection. The company also plans to get rid of the V6 option for the Tucson. Hyundai says 85% of Sonatas are already equipped with four cylinders, and I'm sure fuel economy regulations had a big impact on that decision. Over the weekend, a part owner of Swedish luxury car maker Koenigsegg said the company may pull out of its deal to buy Saab from General Motors if it doesn't receive billions in loans from the Swedish government by Wednesday to help complete the deal. However, according to Reuters, the CEO of Koenigsegg says there is no deadline for the loans, and the deal is still on track to be finalized by the end of October. Hey, have you ever heard of a company called Mitsuoka? It's a low-volume Japanese automaker that builds absolutely wacky-looking cars. Aiming to expand its business, the company will start renting its Orochi and Himiko models in Japan and selling vehicles in China. Even with dealerships in Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou, the company's ambitions are pretty modest. It hopes to sell 35 units in China in its first year. But maybe that's not such a humble goal. The vehicles are expected to cost 50% more than they do in Japan, where the Orochi already sells for $87,000. Hey, it's a fish. It's a porcupine. No, it's the BMW Lobos concept. According to Autoblog, the name stands for a lifestyle of voluntary simplicity, but there's nothing uncomplicated about this prickly design study. Created by a 24-year-old Pforzheim University graduate in Germany, the model's body is constructed of one part that's used 260 times. The foldable scales contain photovoltaic cells that can change angle to follow the sun or act as an air brake. Pretty wild. And coming up next, we'll take a look at BMW's new 5 Series GT. Maybe not as weird as the Lovos, but it is different.
Changing tires out here could be dangerous, but with these tires, I don't need to worry.
Bridgestone.
BMW's been coming up with all kinds of niche vehicles as it seems to try and plug the gaps in every market segment. Here's the latest car to come out with what seems to be a test as to whether a luxury car can be a hatchback.
BMW really seems to get a kick out of creating new vehicle segments. When it launched the X5 a decade ago, it called it a sport activity vehicle. When the X6 bowed, it was christened a sport activity coupe. Now, the company is blazing trails in the car end of the market. The 5 Series GT seems like the product of a Venn diagram. You remember, those circular graphics used for comparing and contrasting things. It tries to combine the best attributes of cars, crossovers, and coupes in one vehicle, which the company is labeling a progressive activity sedan. Outside, the GT looks like every other modern Beamer, with a twin-kidney grille and swooping surfaces. In profile, it resembles a short-statured X6. Up top, a panoramic glass roof is optional, which should make the cleanly styled, and in this case, brightly colored interior open and airy. Inside, passengers are treated to elevated seating and a full-length center console that runs all the way to the back seats, which, by the way, slide about 4 inches to make room for legs or cargo. Out back, the GT is all about utility. Depending on how things are configured, there's up to 60 cubic feet of cargo volume in the hold. That's about 1,700 liters. Adding to its versatility, the rear deck lid can open like a conventional trunk or like a hatchback to make loading bulky items easier. Ahead of the firewall, buyers can choose between 2 turbocharged straight sixes, 1 gas and 1 diesel. A blown, petro-powered V8 is the top engine offering. An 8-speed automatic transmission is standard with all engines. The 5 Series GT aims to meld the utility of a crossover, the styling of a coupe, and the luxury of a sedan. The company claims this segment-founding vehicle is totally unique, but arch-rival Audi probably begs to differ. Its upcoming A5 Sportback looks to offer a similar blend of substance, performance, and style.
I want to thank Craig Cole for putting that package together. You know, it's very interesting to me to see BMW come out with so many niche cars. I hope for their sake that these things sell because it sure seems like an expensive strategy. And that is it for today's top news in the global automotive industry. Thanks for watching. We will see you tomorrow.